times don't, try to listen to their problem before you can solve it fully. I think a lot of times what they want is somebody to listen, hear them out. And then, you try to solve the problem as best you can, or, whatever it may be. But I think a lot of it's just listening and being patient.
I have a question that I did a little hospital time myself, and the doctors would always ask, after they fed you full of all this, you know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
literally. They'd say, got any questions? I said, yeah. They'd say, why do you want to be a doctor? Why do you want to be a city administrator? Would be my question.
So I started off, public service. I'm just going to public service. That's how I kind of came into it. I didn't really have an idea of when I was younger. Some people know what they want to be. I really didn't. And I was just kind of drawn to that. I had a major in political science, and just kind of got in through local government, the job in Johnson County, actually. And then I got to meet some other city administrators through that job, and thought I liked that work, and that's kind of how I got into the field.
And the second question I'd always ask them, when you were younger, say 10, 12 years old, what was your favorite thing to do? Just get to know you kind of question. What was your favorite thing to do?
Catch turtles in Melrose Pond.
So did you grow up on a farm by chance?
No, I just grew up in the west side of Iowa City, over there. It's now surrounded by apartments completely, but the pond, I used to wade for painted turtles. Into there, snapping turtles sometimes.
I've always got my favorite answers out of those questions. You wouldn't believe the stories you get asking nurses and
That was
doctors.
what I loved doing when I was younger.
Yeah.
Caught painted turtles, and whatever I could catch with my net at that time.
That's great.
My mom would love it so much.
We also like to bicycle, kind of like what Chris does.
Yeah, I bike, but I did 1,500 miles this year.
We won't hold that against you, because we know what these bicycle people are.
Yeah.
So that's something.
I'm looking at one right here, so.
Now, are you an Iowa fan or an Iowa State fan?
I'm an Iowa fan.
Oh.
You just lost it.
All right.
I grew up in Iowa City.
He's got my vote.
Iowa State grad.
We gotta realize this is a veterinarian, so he
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be an Iowa fan.
But I'm a third generation graduate, U of I. My son is gonna be a fourth coming up here soon. So,
Hey, Doc, I hear that the boy's going through dental college right now.
Yeah, third year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, is he an Iowa fan now?
Always has been.
Was he?
He was.
Just despite me. He would not even
I'm glad
visit.
somebody-
He never took a visit.
I'm glad somebody finally figured it out. No, that's great. I'm about retiring here in a couple of years. He might have a job here.
I know.
I know, he might be able to.
He could take care of his dad then for the same time.
Well, let's go back to, okay, any other questions for Jeff and give an idea what's going on? He's here to talk. We had Ted and Chris and Doc and we had the opportunity to talk to Jeff for over an hour or so. And even before that, he had a chance to look at the city a little bit. And in fact, we met in this room. So, quite honestly, it came with, he's here tonight with our thoughts that he did a good interview.
Yeah, Jeff, what would be your normal day? Let's say you're city administrator, start at 7:30, whatever.
Sure. Start drinking coffee. And then, come in and check. I think I probably check to make sure that nothing happened like overnight or something that I have to respond to quickly. And then just go through what's going on in the mornings with some regular day with the staff and what might be going on that day. Answer any emails I have. I try to do some work in the office. I do try to get out at some point during the day and go see what's going on in town, because I like to see things for myself. Actually, eventually I'd like to get a walk or ride bikes to do that, because I think you actually see it better when you're biking or walking. But, get out through town during the day, and then just kind of depends. Every day is different. It depends on when your appointments are and those kinds of things, and how many you have on a given day. But that's kind of what I prefer to work through, and then have meetings, with people informally a lot during the day. Like, I don't expect people to come in and report to me all the time, but I like to know what's going on. offer support or whatever I can.
And you've had, Jeff, dealings with help, support, and supervise police departments before.
Oh, yeah. I had about 5 years we had a force, I managed some of the similar issues that you all had here in terms of recruiting and all that stuff.
Yeah, we started a couple years ago, actually.
Yeah.
So today was a good day. Today we sat down, we had a staff meeting. We talked about some of the situations and problems that we faced throughout this year and what the expectations are going into next year. I think we're kind of on the same page and ready to move forward as a team, so.
The things I just finished there with them, and the interim role was helping them and Mount Vernon combined police forces.
Okay.
So they're going into a combined police force starting, well, they're transitioning starting January 1st, and the rest of the fiscal year in a single.
Because Mount Vernon's this big and Lisbon's this big, so they're.
Yeah, Mount Vernon's bigger, but Lisbon has the problem of being in Lynn County and trying to compete for officers with Lynn County and Cedar Rapids and Mount Vernon and Hiawatha and everybody else in there. And so it was just getting harder and harder, and their chief had left earlier in the year. And they looked the opportunity to take a look at it again and came to an agreement with
Those at the Lisbon chief?
back. So yeah, Chris is gone now.
Scott?
Yeah. He's not there anymore, so, gonna be Mount Vernon's current chief, see his face, I can't remember, but he's gonna be the chief of the combined force there.
And those are two separate counties?
No, they're both
They're
Lynn
both
County.
in Lynn County?
Lynn County, Lisbon's right on the corner, if you go right across the east.
We discussed something similar with us in a neighboring county.
Yeah.
We run into several different hurdles, one because we're in two different counties, one's in Cedar County,
Yeah.
one's in King County. And there's a lot of hurdles with that.
Yeah, I mean, their towns are really literally adjacent though, where they're, literally one ends here and the other starts here, so it's a little bit
A
different.
little bit different.
It's a unique situation you don't see out of like city suburb situations very much. You don't see connected towns that often like that. So for them, I think it makes sense. I don't mean that to prescribe to anybody else, but it did there.
You've been involved with the annual budget for several of these places you've been in,
So y'all,
comfortable with all that?
Yeah.
The other thing I'd like the capital improvements, and the financing, who do we go through with that usually?
We just switched.
Or we just switched?
Just switched to user with Northern Securities.
Oh.
Chris,
like the financial.
Bond?
counsel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hey, who we bonding with now, Chris?
Financial,
Oh, we didn't really switch. The bonding we did this last time was with D.A. Davidson, but Northland is still our financial planning representative.
Okay.
you're familiar with them.
So yeah,
I mean, they've been,
there's only 4 or
I'm sure
5
there is,
states
yeah.
in the Bible. Yeah.
well,
But
just
our
made some.
bonding attorney,
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead.
our bonding attorney is Bob Johnston, and I think Jeff's familiar with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's shaking his head.
He's been our attorney for as long as I can remember, as far as bonding goes. So he's had a lot of history with Wilton.
And there's a new guy that's been working underneath him that's doing more, I think. Right, Chris? There's a newer guy that's starting to take over more because Bob's getting up there enough that he's slowing down a little bit.
Yeah. Bob told me the other day that he's getting ready to retire here in the next year or two. He was actually planning on retiring sooner, but this COVID thing is kind of throwing their offense into disarray. But Danos is probably going to be their replacement, and I'm sure Jeff knows Danos as well.
He does.
So with all your experience with the budgets, you've probably done your research on ours, and you probably have some idea where we're sitting. And we had the first go-round administrator. How do you think Chris did for us, looking at our numbers, looking at our.
Your state form looks real good.
Did you hear that? Your state form looked very good.
I haven't seen your line items.
Well, this year, because of COVID, all it's gonna be done online and stuff like that now, so,
The whole audit was online this year,
yeah.
a little different.
Yeah, the state's trying to switch to an online system but they keep having problems with it, so I don't know if it's gonna be operative or not when it comes around to it this
So we
year.
about burned out our computers and faxes and everything else to provide information for them, but the way it was.
Broke the internet with emails.
So the group had interviewed 2 other people also, so we had 3 different people that we had interviewed. And Jeff was the one that we really thought knew a lot of the stuff that we were looking for and used to a lot of the same things that we have done. And so,
So we felt the best fit for Wilton at this time, and I know Jeff would be interested in, like we talked about, ability for each of us to go under contract for a period of time. We was talking about 6 months or so. I'll look for a recommendation later on, whether we want to do that, you want to think about it, whatever.
Chris also, that's what Chris recommended to us when he said that he thought that would be a nice way that we could continue. So he can leave it on the 1st, but still, 1st of February, he's supposed to be at Leclerc. But the mayor of Leclerc, I think you've seen in some of your notes, said at any time that he needed to come back to help out Jeff or something like that for the next, the next month after that or so. He said, I can see it taking a day or something going in and helping out. So I think it's kind of a good, I've been on this board long enough, on the council long enough, that we've hired somebody and just give them a contract. And we wish that probably in 6 months that we had that, on a couple of them that we've said, okay, that's fine,
Been nice seeing you.
but
Exhibit A.
Yeah.
8 years old.
he's probably playing on Facebook right now.
But the one thing I was gonna ask, and this is because, you see deficits in yourself. And so it's one of the important, and being the city administrator, you're basically the manager. Well, sometimes the manager isn't always the nice guy. Are you prepared to think if you have to come down on somebody, an employee, you have to, this is one thing I seem to can't do, but to be the boss, you have to be ready to be the boss. Are you used to that in the past?
I've fired a fair amount of people.
Well, I hope we don't have to fire everybody. But no, sometimes you can't be the nice guy.
Yeah, no, that's not your role as boss. You want to treat the employees with respect and that they deserve and everything like that, but your role is to be the boss and to move things along, so to speak. Just be the straw that stirs the drink, kind of, so that's kind of how I view it and move.
Well, and it's not that I think you would have any trouble at all, but it's just that, like I say, sometimes you have to be ready to, step in if it's kind of comfort necessary.
My feeling is I'll go into it with, everyone knows their job here. And until they show me otherwise, I'm going to keep operating under that belief.
Yeah, we've got a seasoned workforce and been pretty successful.
Stable. We have a stable,
Very stable.
very
One of the things I
stable.
think that Chris did very well is, when he came in, he put people in the place that he felt could do the job the best.
Mhm.
And he relied on them to do their job. And as you said, treated us all with respect, and we did our very best to make Chris look good. Which, when he said this needs to be handled, whichever manager that was, that manager went out and handled it. And we reported to him, he kind of gave the marching orders, and we were happy to go out and get it done. So I don't know if it's always been that way, but the way we are currently, the managers and the people that are in place right now are, I don't think any of us are looking to go anywhere and really rock any boats. We're all ready to put Wilton first.
Well, like I said in an interview with, I think last time when Chris actually turned his resignation, it's very helpful. You have a good work group, you have a good city administrator, and guess what? Our job's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have the problems that other cities do, and we see it all the time.
So, yeah.
So we're very thankful that we're in that. And as far as that goes, this group here is long-term. Doc's been, these two docs have been councilmen for some time. Cheryl has too, and Steve's, that's his second round. So, you know, again, there's a lot of stability there as well.
That's good.
It pays so well. That's,
Yeah, the pay is
yeah.
I'm just gonna come in and try to just learn and pick up stuff, like, not looking into reinvent the wheel coming in or anything like that. I wanna learn what I need to learn, the ins and outs of the budget, especially, but also the main thing is getting to know the people here better. That'll be the number one thing, is getting to know the people and work with them. Because I know a lot of the technical aspects of state budgeting and that kind of stuff, but it's the people in the town who got to get to know, that's the major thing.
I think all of us have actually started kind of at the employee level and worked that are in the management spots now. I don't think anybody was necessarily hired and brought in as that. We kind of worked our way up through it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other questions? It's good. Jeff, thanks so much for coming down here tonight. So everyone can meet you. Please stay. We're gonna go through the rest of the meeting.
Yeah, well, I go ahead a little bit, sure.
I'm gonna talk about appointment, and it'll be up to the council whether we should move ahead or not, but we'll probably have that discussion where it's done. Okay, citizens? Don't see any. Was Derek? He looks quiet. Consultants, Becky? Not here. Legal items, we have none.
Becky has, I think, her daughter's back for kids for Christmas, so. WDC had their annual meeting last night. I passed the gavel to Dwight Watkins. Well, I'll be past president. He'll be the new president, and actually, our city attorney is the vice president, Julie Sprague.
Good.
So we also put Lynn Ochiltree on the board, and I think there's another one.
Anyone? come
Chris,
on?
do you remember who the other one we put on? Chris Ochiltree and who else? But anyway,
Anyone? come on?
I don't remember.
Becky would have known right off the top of her head. I should have wrote
That's
that.
what
But all good people and working in the community.
Did anyone come off the board or no?
Mike Sugar is done because he's moved his business out of the city.
Okay.
So, I mean, not that he doesn't sell a house here and there, but he just decided that since he wasn't, you know. But I think, Lisa,
Kubrick used to be.
Kublik, used to be Kublik, Lisa Kublik, now she got remarried. Beatty?
Yeah.
She works out at the bank from
Central State.
CBI.
Yep.
She's on the, so. And then we also on that board, we have the school superintendent. So, and we explained to Jeff when we were doing that is that we are close working with the school board and the city council. And we kind of help each other out when we can. And I think that's been a real good, real plus for the town, you know.
Well, we've never done a TIF. Of course, the school's directly affected by the TIF. You know, we've never had any discussion, any argument about that at all. Because they knew eventually it's going to be a benefit to them. So.
Yeah. And so, and plus we do the pool together. You know, which and then we've got all these other projects going, and we kind of explained that when we talked to Jeff. You know, we've got the I-80 38 corridor, we've got the housing project, rural 360. You know, we've got the
Rec Center?
rec center that we had an update at that meeting. Ted give that update for that. I don't know, Ted, do you want to fill the rest of the council in on any of that stuff for the kind of what you guys did at the rec center?
Well, just briefly, we had our first presentation of a package to the foundation, and we're kind of getting our toes wet as far as what that presentation should be as we move forward. We're in about our third iteration of what the facility would be physically, pool, combination with the gym, running track, etc. And just pretty much brought everybody up to date that where we're at this point. It's like we're ready to rock. We might have a couple revisions to our presentation package for the next go around, but yeah, it's inching forward. I mean, all signs are positive. We didn't during the presentation, which was done over Zoom or Google. I guess Zoom is kind of the name of Kleenex for these things now. Everybody calls it Zoom, but nobody turned it off, and there were questions asked and interest in what we were doing. So all told, we're farther along than we were 3 years ago, which is a good thing.
It's good. Any questions? I know I attended the meeting too. It's I think, kind of successful. That's a starting point. We'll go from there. So, okay, anything else on that line? The next thing I have is legal items. Kid, I don't know of any. Correspondence, we got the MSA draft on Highway 38 corridor study. Chris, are you still on?
Yes, I am. Can
you, I've read through that. Are they on schedule for what they said they was going to do?
They're on schedule. They're behind schedule, but that was due to the COVID because they started during the COVID thing. They're hoping to have everything wrapped up by this spring.
Okay. Ken, this is a study on the value of going clear out to the interstate and expanding the city of Wilton. So that's what we're doing. So we had a study going on to see if it's worthwhile to do. So that'll conclude next spring. We should know more. Chris?
Yes, absolutely. And that he updates the draft, and he's looking for feedback on those drafts all the time. So whenever you get those, if you see some issue you'd like to address or some addition you'd like to make, then just let me know and I can forward that to him.
Okay. As far as mayor items, we're scheduled to have a meeting on the 28th. I think this is, to my feeling, this one should replace it, be done. So I probably need a motion to cancel the meeting on the 28th.
I had one question there, and I forgot to ask Kit this earlier today. Does she need to have bills paid on the 28th?
Yeah. Yes,
We'll have
she's
a-
shaking her head.
We'll have a call-in meeting then.
How about a call-in meeting?
Call-in meeting?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
When is the 28th?
Next Monday.
Monday?
Yep.
Okay. You know then.
What time do you want to make that meeting? You want us to
Call in on Friday.
call it on Friday before?
Just
Friday.
So this Friday,
your vote for the buildings.
Yes, on Christmas.
This is Christmas.
Christmas?
Christmas.
Well, we can call you, but
No, let's do it Monday.
Oh,
Sometime
let's
on
do
Monday. Monday morning? Yes,
28th,
Monday
Monday
morning.
morning.
Sometime
Text your.
Monday morning, call in for the bills.
Yes.
Yeah, just call in Monday.
Okay, you will have
Chris likes.
copies sent out to us by then?
Yes,
Okay. While we wait to get our copy, take a look at it, and call in and approve.
we'll drop them in the packet.
If you drop your direct, or you want it to go directly to your phone, I don't think I have to even.
But just call it, if you can call the city hall number and tell one of the girls.
Okay,
It doesn't matter which one,
okay.
so.
We're gonna be open on the 28th, right? So
You can also text me.
I can text you?
Yep, you can text me or call me on my cell phone.
I don't want to get COVID though.
Yeah,
Might come through the text message. You gotta watch that.
kind of looks like he's feeling pretty good, though.
Oh, he ain't got it. His daughter does.
Yeah.
He's just quarantined her because he's around her.
Trying to save us.
Hmm?
He's trying to save us.
I know. He's being nice to us old guys.
Yeah.
We can do something to your calendar to remind you.
This,
I'll call you.
You guys are gonna have to let me know. I can't figure anything out on the phone.
How about if I call you, Wayne?
Then you just do that, and if I can't come to the phone, leave a message.
Okay, I will do
I'm
that.
gonna be in North
so
Carolina,
much.
I'm gonna be in North Carolina, Kip, would you call me too?
No, I'm not gonna call you.
Well, I can say
I
yes.
can text. I'll text you guys and remind you. I'll remind you.
All right.
I guess the question I have for the council, do you want us to move ahead on developing a contract with Jeff for the next 6 months?
Great idea.
Okay, I don't have the final thing to present to you tonight because I think Chris and I need to talk that over a little bit further.
Ready, Chris?
Chris?
Yeah, I think we want to finalize that and then send a draft to Jeff and make sure he's okay with it, and then we can go ahead and appoint him at the next meeting probably.
Yeah.
In January.
So, and I got it, everyone's a positive to move ahead. So we'll just do that, then we'll bring it for the council.
Do you
to
want a
approve
motion
it.
to move ahead? Put it in a motion?
I can take that. You want to?
I think I need a motion to.
I think we need a motion to,
Okay.
We need
I'll
a
take
motion
the
to
meeting.
cancel the meeting too. Already.
yeah, a motion to cancel the meeting.
I'll make a motion to do the call meeting on the 28th.
Okay. Second?
A second.
You know the two, we'll vote on it then. Doc?
Yeah.
Doc?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yes.
And Ted?
Yes.
Now I'll take a motion on moving ahead with the 6 months agreement with Jeff.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Cheryl moved.
Second.
Second from Doc. Any further discussion? Chris and I will work and get this done, hopefully in the next couple days. Okay, well, what other than Cheryl?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Ted?
Yes.
So that's done.
Hopefully it works out, Jeff.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. Council item, stormwater project service agreement. with HR Green. Chris, do you want to bring him up to speed on that?
Sure. This is the construction management part of the contract. So this would be just for the just doing the engineering for the construction management. So I've kind of whittled this down. It was a little higher than that, and I whittled this down quite a bit because we have, Brad Jipp is the contractor, and he's actually right next door. He lives in the community. So and Brad's been really responsive to me about bringing up problems and then responding to problems. So I didn't feel we needed as much construction management in this particular project as we have in some of the other ones. So I don't want to say I beat HR Green up about it, but when they first presented it to me, I just said, I don't think we need that much oversight. So they cut the oversight probably almost in half to do the project, which means they're just not going to be out there as often with, looking at the construction site. They've worked with Brad Jipp before. We've worked with him. We're all pretty comfortable with the relationship we have, and we didn't think we needed quite as much watching over the shoulders we normally do with other contractors.
I think Steve's always been a proponent that we probably don't need as much looking around as sometimes we maybe get.
Anytime we can beat up HR Green, let's do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what did you beat him out of, Chris?
Well, and mostly it's just, they wanted to come out and visit, and I forget what they said originally. They were going to do about twice as many visits as what's in the contract. So we cut that down, and we focused more on the vegetation side of it. Well, I guess there's two parts of it. There's the contract with HR Green to do the construction management for the construction project, and then there's a different contractor that's doing the planting, the seeding of all the plants out there. So we took a lot of that off the contract as well. So they have they're heavy on what they're going to do. Basically, is they're going to look over what Brad Jipp has accomplished and look over make sure pay apps are done correctly, do periodic inspections of the site to make sure that things are getting installed in the correct way. And then they offered to there's a 3-year warranty on the grass, the plantings they do. We also decided to move that off this contract and into their regular engineering services.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Do we need to
Yeah, we need to approve this.
prove it?
Approve.
Okay, do I have a motion to
So moved.
move by Doc, second?
Cheryl, second.
Cheryl, second.
So Steve or Cheryl, one of the two did.
Cheryl.
We'll vote on it then. Cheryl,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Doc,
Yes.
Doc?
Yes.
Ted.
Yes.
Go to bills next. Any questions on the bills?
In there yet.
You don't have any.
No,
You gotta list
like,
it.
whoa.
no, there was none in there. We'll put them all in.
We're just gonna do it for 28th.
Yes.
Do we need to stop down and sign it on the 28th?
Somebody, yeah, you and Ted and Cheryl.
You,
will
Ted, and
still need to
Cheryl.
Sign those eventually.
Okay, Chris, for administrative items. You asked the resolution to set public hearing for budget amendment.
Yeah, you know what, I don't have that right in front of me. This is a little bit more difficult to do on Zoom than it is, but there's a budget amendment on there. And the budget amendment essentially is covering, if I remember correctly, I think there's 3 things. And it says on that. I don't know.
Fire
Yeah, there you go.
Bond refunding and Fifth Street sewer collapse.
Yes. So those are all projects we didn't budget for. Of course, the bonding is just in and out. You know, they sent us the money and then we sent the money out. So there's no real budget impact for that because it was all refunding. We were basically reorganizing debt. But still on the reporting form, we have to report that we brought that money in and then sent that money out for those things. So all that just needs to be annotated onto the budget. So that's really the only expenses that we're incurring are for the fire truck, which is my fault. That was supposed to be budgeted for. I talked to the police department about it, or the fire department about it, and just brain cramped and didn't put it in the budget. So that was my fault. And then the other one is the Fifth Street sewer collapse.
We couldn't plan for that, so.
No.
Okay, can I have so we're gonna set a public hearing for next meeting,
Well, it would be the first meeting in January.
January 11th?
Yeah.
January
Yeah.
11th.
Okay. Motion for that,
So moved.
Second.
moved and seconded. Vote on that, Doc,
Yeah.
Doc,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
and Cheryl,
Yes.
and Ted.
Yes.
Chris, we lost you again, but you brought also the engineering estimates. We talked about our shovel-ready projects. Can't hear you, Chris.
Are you muted?
Chris, you may be muted.
Sorry about that. I'm periodically looking for documents on my screen. That's the reason I go off periodically. So sorry about that. But yeah, again, it's hard to do. It's hard to do this. I should have probably printed this stuff out. But anyway, the engineering estimates or the estimates that you have there include engineering estimates at the bottom of those pages. That's roughly 20% of the project cost. So I don't have it in front of me, but I think one of the projects was roughly $600,000. So 20% of that would be their engineering fees. So you guys asked me to kind of get an estimate as to what the engineering would be to put together those proposals. Now that 20% is for engineering the whole project, not just for design and well, basically design and bid is I'm saying about half that cost.
What you got is water, 40,000, 3rd Street, 80,000, 5th Street, 97,000.
Yeah, so to design that is going to be about half of those costs, and that's my estimation anyway.
But to not have these in place, they're not shovel ready then, are they?
Right. we need to do the engineering on them to be shovel ready, yes. We need the plans ready. It doesn't need to be bid, but the plans need to be ready.
So the engineering costs would be there.
Yeah, we would incur, if we're talking about the water plant, and they're redoing that estimate, by the way, because it's several years old. So let's say 20% of the project is $40,000, then it's going to cost roughly 20 grand to put the plans together. Now the water plant might actually be less than that because we're going to use automatic systems to help us out in that endeavor. But, generally speaking, that's what the cost is going to be.
What's your thoughts?
You can miss that money if it becomes available to me.
I think it might be more likely to be available maybe this round than it would have been otherwise. I guess these are things we're going to do anyway.
Well, those, all three of those that we've got were on our capital improvements
Top of the
list that we did. The electrical was number 1, 3rd Street, and that little viaduct bridge that kind of goes over there was number 2, and the 5th Street overlay was number 3. That we had talked about, that our extra meetings that we had. So,
We got the funds to do this engineering, correct, Chris?
Yeah, we certainly do. The water fund is in really good shape. We won't even have to bond or do anything for that project. So that's an easy one. I think we're probably going to end up putting that in our budget for next year anyway, along with the well, if we can get the land purchased for that. So I think it's probably just as well we get the plans done, because like you guys said, we're going to end up doing them anyway in the next couple of years.
So do I have a motion? Go ahead.
I'll make a motion.
Steve, second?
I'll second.
Cheryl, second?
That'll be the first time I'll ever make a motion for engineering.
We'll remember that.
Write that down.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Now we'll vote on it. Cheryl,
Yes.
Steve?
Yeah.
Doc?
yes.
Doc?
Yeah.
And Ted?
Yes.
About council items.
I just had one thing, it was kind of, I don't know, Kit might know more about this, but we had, and I'm sure you're familiar too, the water meters, how soon they tell you when they're leaking and how soon you report it to the customers. How that all works. I mean, I know we spent a lot of money on these really smart water meters that tell you, when it's dripping. Something that we monitor, is there a red flag, is there
We have a report, the guys read the meters, it was on the 15th or 16th of this month. We get a report that afternoon already, after they read, and then, now it's Kim, takes all those that say continuous leak, and she sends out a little postcard for all of them that says they have a leak. We found it was it sounds bad, more efficient sending them in the mail, because it had so much information on that little card that tells them to check their toilets, check their water softeners, try to listen for the leaks themselves and to monitor the water usage themselves. If we have somebody that's huge, we try to get a hold of that person on the phone.
But I guess I was under the impression, and this was me, I was thinking that there was somewhere where you could actually, like right now, pull up their water meters and look at them. Our meters aren't that smart.
No, we're not, we don't have that capability yet.
I was thinking those meters.
No, they still have to take a computer out and read them. At some time down the road, we really want to put in place those antennas, and at any given moment, we can check people's water. But those, there again, you have to put these towers in different parts of the town to make sure they can pop into those computers.
I guess I was just, and I don't know why I thought that, I knew better, I guess, now that I asked the question.
Right.
But
I mean, and I went to that class, and it would really, you can even pull it up on your phone.
I think those meters that we have, I think you're capable of turning them off. remotely, right? Can you do that?
We can't, no.
You can't without having to turn a curb stop? Okay, I thought.
Yeah, we
okay,
have to
that's
do that
smart.
to curb,
Some of those you could turn them off and their water's off till they.
Yeah,
pay the bill.
no, we don't
Without
have
having
that
to even go
capability.
down or turn a curb stop.
Maybe give those for selected folks, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean,
I didn't realize- I
and
was
if we
thinking
ever
it's
take
smarter
that
than that.
next step, that they actually, the readings are going into the cloud, and at any time, you can pull that reading. And
And the homeowner could as well.
yes,
That would be a wonderful little
Yeah.
notification.
It's
I got a
just
leak and something.
a really big investment to be able to put
I
those
understand, yeah.
sensors in the different parts of the town to be able to pick them up at any time.
We have a friend that water softener screwed up, went to an error and just ran, and he had a 20,000 gallon monthly bill for just gallons of water. And he usually has like 2,000.
Yeah, if that, yeah.
225. So he was asking me and Steve, and we're going, well, I don't know, we think we can.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a little, I mean, yeah.
You know, but we just found out that sending a postcard gave the people a lot more information than the guys used to stick a little note on their door that said, call the office, and
Right.
we'll let you know what's going on. Well, so many people didn't call, then they said they never got the notice. So we started mailing them, and yes, it does take an extra day to get to them, but, you
Well,
know,
in your defense, I had brought that up with you guys here maybe 2 weeks ago. Liz called me last week and said, hey, they just read the meter and it's still high.
it's
Well,
still high.
what happened is that we didn't, and it was in my apartment that I rent to the guy, his water softener, they didn't realize the water softener until about a week and a half ago.
Right,
Well, I said, you're gonna get all that flow by that you're having right now still on this next bill.
next on bill, yeah, because he'll get another bad one.
So.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's any way the council could ever look at it and say, if you find something that's done that, can we give them instead of charging for sewer on all that or not? I don't know. That'd be something that's council would have to think about and
I think Muscatine does it a unique way. I think they do something where they average your sewer over the winter. And they feel that that's the most accurate, like for 3 or 4 months, whatever those readings were over the winter. And that's what, even in the summer, they consider that your sewer usage, because anything beyond that, they're assuming you're watering your lawn, they're assuming you're washing your cars. And they have some of the lowest water rates. They're very fortunate down there with their wells and where they're at, but with the bigger companies.
But we don't, what we do is, if a person wants to, if they do a lot of watering otherwise, or have a sprinkler system,
on that system.
you put or a swimming pool, you put a separate meter on,
Yeah.
and you're not charged for those
Yes.
gallons on the sewer.
And we've always given them payment options if somebody has a hardship with it too.
Sure.
You know, and in the trailer court, we have forgiven some of the sewer when they obviously went and the lawn is full of water and they're sloshing, trying to find out what's leaking. We know it didn't go down the sewer and it went on the lawn. Then we try to work with those people, but on the whole, we mostly just try to give people a payment option if we really know it did go down the drain.
But wouldn't clean water be a benefit to our sewer system? No offense, I mean, if they're wasting, they're giving them 20,000 gallons of just like how we used to backflush sort of.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some other, I'm just kind of brainstorming a little bit here. I don't know, like, I always need Robert here to see.
Right. Well, and you guys can always decide
Yeah, I
if you want
understand.
to try to give people that.
I don't think they've been real forgiving though, councils in the past.
Right, it
I
don't
don't-
sound like it.
I don't think they have been, nor have they been, for example, if you have backup in your basement, I don't think they've been too forgiving on that as well. Because,
Limiters feel those.
you know, once you go down that path being very forgiving, it
Sure.
generally gets a little deeper.
Yeah, sure, I understand.
We, Bell Plains Council used to allow it one time, but one time only. The really bad ones that with people, like, I think you have the snowbirds a couple times, maybe left your
Yeah.
house and got a broken pipe
Yeah,
or
that's
something like that.
that one guy that had, where Hartman's lived, came home, the basement was full.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I was down there too. I helped him. Okay, any other, that's a good question.
No, it's good. Well, we've been browbeaten a little bit in the last couple of weeks by my renter.
Yes, oh, by who?
My renter.
Oh, okay. Raise his rent.
Yeah, that's what he did. Well,
Well, it is, it's kind of, the city gets it to the mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else to be brought up tonight? Ted, you okay?
Dad, you got anything you want to bring up?
I just have one thing. I just wanted to let you know, Visa Sewer should be done this week, barring any problems. And we did have a water main break today. They're going to fix that water main break tomorrow. That's all
Where's
I
it?
got.
Pine and Fifth, right in the highway.
Really? Okay.
And I talked to Robert, he stopped right before, and he said that the location person wasn't coming out for another couple hours, so they pulled the valves and shut them down, and then checked with homeowners, see if they still had enough pressure around.
Does it affect many people?
I don't know.
The water leak affect many? It's not a big main?
Well, Robert said, if you get a call, if any of us get a call, just say it's gonna be tomorrow, but if you're too low down, try to wait till
usually
tomorrow.
you can crack them enough and keep enough water pressure on the house to, satisfy their needs, so. Yeah.
So anyway,
Fill the toilets.
he wanted to let us know so we could
Totally.
tell everybody. They also put it on Facebook.
Okay.
He said he did.
Was it a
You guys-
result?
You guys do a great job doing it.
Was it a result of business sewer? Do they hook up to our hydrants and are they hammering some hydrants or something? Somebody shut one too fast? Something like that happened maybe?
I don't know.
Get a little water.
They are hooked to our
They're
hydrants.
in that area.
They're in the
I'm sure
hydrant.
that's what it was.
Maybe, hey, Chris, tell business sewer we're gonna sue them for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll pay as long as they're.
that's their responsibility.
They can just laughing at
Yeah.
it.
Our junk
Yeah,
water.
They line in all of Fifth Street.
I'll try to find out exactly why it happened tomorrow.
Are they lining that area right now? Is that what they're doing? Is it lining or are they just?
Yeah. No, they're lining. They have, I think, 3 sections they needed to line this week. So one Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think is what they're going to try to do.
Okay.
There's a little bit of traffic problem, but I think we're getting through it okay.
I think so too.
Keeps the people off the curb on our highway. They don't wreck the corner of it.
Yeah, except it's kind of kamikaze as you're going through there. but-
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Anything else? If not, thank everyone, have a good Christmas and thank you and happy New Year.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey,
See you.
Happy New Year, Chrissy.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you guys. Hey, tell Jeff to give me a call tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to Jeff a minute before he goes, so.
Okay. Yep. Have him give me a call. Thanks.
Hey, Doc, what's the school?
See you tomorrow.
School board meetings are the second Tuesday of the month.
I think, yeah, we're gonna see Stephanie.
They're here at 6 o'clock.
I think Stephanie's supposed to put it on the agenda, so I wonder if